of India's Wetlands and their Conservation during Anthropocene, organized jointly by Departments of Botany and Zoology, Seminar Subcommittee of Singur, and in collaboration with Rani Rashmani University. It is a pleasure to welcome everyone to our beautiful serene campus of GGDC Singur. We, the organizers, are so glad to have you here. We would like to extend a special welcome to our dignitaries, Dr. Dinesh Agarwal sir, Scientist E of BSI, who has come all the way from BSI to give us his keynote address. Welcome is due for Professor Dr. S.K. Tripathi, Professor of Forestry, Mizoram University, who couldn't make to come but will be addressing us on online platform. We, on behalf of Seminar Subcommittee and the Departments of GGDC Singur, welcome our Vice Chancellor sir of Rani Rashmani University, Professor Amya Kumar Panda sir, as a collaborator for extending the necessary help required to make the seminar a success. We also welcome Dr. Ashok Das, who is a retired professor from Bethune College, whose presence makes us so happy. We welcome Dr. Palika ma'am also to this seminar. This seminar is a brainchild of our principal, who is also the patron of the seminar and has worked tirelessly from day one to make it a reality. Well, we welcome you, sir, to the dais. Sir, please take your seat. Where is our QC madam? Finally, we are excited to see participants from outside as well as from in-house. Your presence is highly appreciated and we are thrilled to have you join us for what promises to be inspiring and informative event. The day one had an awareness rally on safe local wetlands, safe biodiversity and livelihood, and a brilliant oral competition on how to conserve local wetlands along with local people, where students showcased wetland protection to be critical for biodiversity conservation, as these ecosystems act as hotspots supporting many floral and fauna species, including migratory birds and endangered fauna. They also showed protecting wetlands secures vital habitats, filters water, regulates floods, and sequesters carbon, directly mitigating the climatic changes impacts. They pointed out restoration and legal community-led management are essential to reversing degradation and maintaining ecological integrity. The day two starts with the inauguration by the honorable guests, our principal sir, vice chancellor sir, IQAC coordinators madam, Dr. Choitali Chaudhuri, and organizing secretaries Dr. Devojyoti Chakraborty and Dr. Pintu Banerjee, seminar subcommittee convener Dr. Bhaskar Dutta. I request all of you to light the candle followed by worship of Christ. Sir, please.
Madam, please join hand.
Now Sir, please take your seats. Now coming to the felicitation of honorable guests and dignitaries. The students are called upon to felicitate them. So, please clap your hands. अरे बेटा सुबह निकल गया
वो खपता आपने उधर ये सब
Amrit, please read out. Amrit.
It's a token of appreciation, in solemn appreciation and grateful recognition of your esteemed presence as the honorable keynote speaker and for delivering an illuminating address entitled Current Scenario of India's Wetlands and Their Conservation During the Anthropocene. On the auspicious occasion of the celebration of World Wetlands Day 2026, held on the theme Wetlands and Traditional Knowledge, Celebrating Cultural Heritage. This is for Dr. Dinesh Kumar Agrawal, Scientist E, Botanical Survey of India.
This book has been gifted. The books on wetland conservation has been gifted by Dr. Dinesh Agarwala sir and Principal Faculty. Both the volumes are there and sir has written.
Trisha কোথায়?
After this, the inaugural song and dance is being performed by Trisha Mandi of Botany Same 5. Trisha, start your presentation. Now, যে পেন্স গুলো নিয়ে শুরু না না
ওইটা শুধু এটা
Please clap your hands. Show me now. Please clap your hands.
আরেকটা আমাদের স্যার বসে আছেন ইউনিভার্সিটি এখন সিটে লিখে দিন
Okay. Our registrar sir is sitting over there. Please felicitate him. Jao. Please clap your hands. Now we go on to the inaugural dance and song program. Please start.
Jana ke bhi churi ka hai, chura
Isha for your brilliant performance. Now I request our principal sir to welcome our dignitaries and participants with a few words.
Good afternoon to everybody. We are running actually against shortest time actually, so dear audience and our honorable Vice Chancellor sir of Rani Rasmuni University, our chief guest Dr. Ashok Kumar Das, retired associate professor and head Bethune College, Department of Botany, and today's our keynote address, our speaker, honorable speaker Dr. Dinesh Kumar Agarwala, scientist, botanist from India. My friend actually during research time all together we worked. So remembering those days, Arunachal Pradesh Adas area also, and he still now worked on wetland. He published an editor actually 2 volumes India's wetland at present till date, and he gifted us his personal books for our library, both Rani Rasmuni University and our government university Singur. So I extend my thankful that to Dr. Dinesh Agarwala on behalf of Botanists of India, that type of observation of Wetland Day. So he is offering out that type of books that will be very essential for us. Now another BSI research scholar and research associate Dr. Riju Polika Rai, our eminent biodiversity researcher Dr. Oniman Roy. So he sees very intelligent actually in this area. So she told just 2 days back, so sir, may I go? So I need to tell yes, always you are welcome. So she will speak about also wetland today. Thank you, Dr. Riju Polika Rai. So today's speaker, another speaker, our Mizoram Central University, Professor S.K. Tripathi. You know, eminent ecologist Dr. J. Singh, students of Bangalore University, Professor S.K. Tripathi. So he has tremendous work standing committee meeting today. Still, he told, yes, I will tell for 30 to 40 minutes on tropical ecosystems and tropical wetlands, tropical area. He worked several publications also there. Professor S.K. Tripathi, Department of Forestry, New York University. He will also speak. So we have eminent speakers today. So I am requesting students, especially botany and zoology, and environmental department of RRG, please listen, because it is not possible always that type of speaker physically interaction with you. So please listen regarding wetlands, recent, past, future, what we can do, what are role actually wetland, what actually helps us, you know, Ramsar protection, everything they will tell. Shortage of time, I will not explain here. Okay, so Ramsar sites. That is one convention in Iran, you know. So those that type of wetlands, they are coming under Ramsar in West Bengal. That East Kolkata wetland and Sundarban wetland is there. But so many others besides Ramsar sites, others wetlands are there. Nobody studies actually. So we are not even today. We do not know actually what is there. Maybe they will qualify Ramsar sites. On the way, Dr. Agarwal told me that we have to study this. Maybe they will qualify Ramsar. And Singur, itself our college, Jalagata area, that government degree called Singur, it is also a wetland. So heart of the wetland, we are standing here. Okay, just to see, open your eyes, you can see, wetlands are fighting. They are struggling actually. All the biodiversity members, they are struggling. So right place, we are observing Wetland Day. That is 2nd February. You know, Ramsar, Iran, the convention adopted today's 2nd February. So that's why that is every year we are observing or celebrating Wetland Day, International Wetland Day. Okay. So now I have to stop because we have to proceed. Actually, our speaker they will tell. Okay. So thank you all again, and students, please listen. That type of I am telling you, that type of speaker is not possible. They are very business persons. So you can interact. We have scope. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I request our Vice Chancellor, sir, to welcome with very kind words.
Good afternoon to all of you. Dignitaries on the dash and off the dash. আমাদের আত্মসমীক্ষণের বোধহয় বড় প্রয়োজন। আমি সুভাষ মুখোপাধ্যায়ের একটি কবিতার কয়েকটি লাইন উদ্ধৃত করব, আপনারা নিজ গুণে মার্জনা করবেন। ফুলগুলো সরিয়ে নাও, আমার লাগছে। মালা জমে জমে পাহাড় হয়, ফুল জমতে জমতে পাথর, পাথরটা সরিয়ে নাও, আমার লাগছে। অমলাতন্ত্রের একটি বক্তব্য শোনার সৌভাগ্য হয়েছে। ফুলটি যখন গাছে থাকে, সেটা দেখে যখন আমাদের ভালো লাগে, সেটা হচ্ছে ওই ফুল বা প্রকৃতির প্রতি আমাদের মমত্ববোধ। ফুলটি আমি গাছ থেকে তুলে নিজের হাতে নেব, এটা আমার প্রভুত্ব বোধ। এই প্রভুত্ব বোধ থেকে নিষ্ক্রমণের সময় এসেছে এখন। বিশেষ করে আজকে যখন আমরা আমরা যখন ওয়েটল্যান্ড কনজারভেশন মিশন লাইফ এগুলো নিয়ে কথা বলছি, যখন সারা বিশ্ব আজকে চিন্তিত কার্বন এমিশন কি করে কমানো যায়, সেক্ষেত্রে এই প্রদীপ প্রজ্বলনের মতো আড়ম্বরগুলি পরিত্যাগ করার কথা ছিল। আবার বলছি, আপনারা নিজ গুণে ক্ষমা করবেন। আপনারা বরং আরো একটু ভালো করতে পারতেন যদি প্রত্যেকের হাতে একটি করে টপ দিয়ে দিতেন, ফুলের বকেগুলি না দিয়ে। অনুগ্রহ করে আপনারা বিবেচনা করবেন, কারণ শ্রীরামকৃষ্ণ একবার বলেছিলেন, তিনি দক্ষিণেশ্বর আপনারা জানেন, তিনি ফুলের সাজিতে ফুল তুলতেন পুজোর সময়। তুলতে গিয়ে একদিন হঠাৎ বললেন, আমি দেখলাম প্রকৃতিটাই যেন একটি সাজি, আর এই বিশ্বব্রহ্মাণ্ডে গাছ যেন একটি সাজির মতো সাজানো আছে, আমি আর ফুল তুলতে পারলাম না। আপনি আচরি ধর্ম অপরে শিক্ষায়। গতকাল আমার মুনি শিক্ষকেরা তাদের সান্নিধ্য লাভের সৌভাগ্য হয়েছিল আমার। তারা দেখিয়েছিলেন কি করে প্রকৃতি পাঠ কাকে বলে। আমি পরে বাড়িতে গিয়ে যখন আলোচনা করছিলাম যে হানিবি ইটার বার্ড চক্রবর্তী স্যার আমাদের দেখালেন, তার মানে কি, সেখানে পাখি আছে, পাখিটি আছে একটি বিশেষ ধরনের প্রজাতিকে খেয়ে বেঁচে থাকে, তার মানে সেখানে একটি মৌমাছি আছে। মৌমাছি আছে মানে সেখানে মৌমাছির বেঁচে থাকার উপাদান আছে, তার মানে সেখানে বাস্তুতন্ত্রটি বেঁচে আছে। আমার কথা নয়, অ্যালবার্ট আইনস্টাইন একটি উক্তি করছে, যদিও এটা সত্য সম্বন্ধে আমি নিশ্চিত নই। আর এই মুহূর্তে যদি পৃথিবী থেকে সমস্ত মৌমাছি নিশ্চিহ্ন হয়ে যায়, আমাদের আয়ু 4 বছর। আমাদের যা ফুড স্টক, লাইফ স্টক যা আছে, আমরা 4 বছর বাঁচব। সুতরাং এখন একটি সময় এসে গেছে আমাদের সজাগ হওয়ার, আত্মসচেতন হওয়ার এবং নিজেকে নিজে বিশ্লেষণ করা। আমরা এখন থেকেই সেই কাজটি করতে উদ্যোগী হব, তবেই এই আলোচনা চক্রের সার্থকতা। আবার বলছি, আপনারা নিজ গুণে মার্জনা করবেন, আত্মনিরীক্ষণের ঔদ্ধত্য দেখাবার বলে। আমি দুটি কাজ আমি আপনাদের সামনে করতে চাই। দুজন মানুষ যারা বিশেষভাবে রানী রাসমণি গ্রিন ইউনিভার্সিটি মিশন লাইফের সঙ্গে যুক্ত, একজন হচ্ছেন ডক্টর অমিত কৃষ্ণ মিত্র, আর একজন একদম পিছনের দিকে কোথায় বসে আছেন আমি তাকে দেখতে পাচ্ছি না, সজল সাহেব। আপনারা যদি অনুগ্রহ করে একটু এগিয়ে আসেন। আমি আমার সম্মানটি আপনাদেরকে সম্মানিত করতে চাই, কারণ ভবিষ্যতে যাতে বলতে পারি তোমায় কেন দিইনি আমার সকল সুখ। আপনারা ভালো থাকবেন, নমস্কার।
অমৃত স্যার, এটা আমার তরফ থেকে আপনাকে শ্রদ্ধা। এই পাগলগুলো আছে বলেই সমাজটা এখন বেঁচে আছে। ওরকম একটি পাগল মানুষ আছে বলেই সমাজটা বেঁচে আছে। আপনাদের মাধ্যমটা বজায়। থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার। Sorry.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Vice Chancellor, sir. Thank you for honoring the people behind this mission. Thank you once again. Now, we want to hear some more words from our IQAC ma'am, Dr. Choitali Choudhury. Ma'am, please come forward. On behalf of IQAC, I extend a warm welcome to our dignitaries, Honorable Vice Chancellor sir, respected Principal sir, our resource persons, scholars, faculty members and students. And may today's deliberation inspire us to become responsible custodian of nature and active contributors to ecological sustainability. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody, for your precious presence. And of course, I want to thank Department of Botany and Zoology for this endeavor, for organizing this seminar and seminar committee as well. And thank you, Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, for your constant support in almost every endeavors of our college. Please be with us, and thank you all.
আপনি জিও ট্যাগিং করেন? সামনে ল্যাপটা জ্বলছে
of India's wetlands and their conservation during Anthropocene. May I please take a few minutes to introduce such a stalwart. But before that, I request Dr. Ashok Das to come and chair the session. Dr. Dinesh Kumar Agarwala, scientist, Botanical Survey of India, Kolkata, has been working in systematics and conservation aspects of Indian orchidaceae since past 2 decades. Apart from revising the genus area for the flora of India for his PhD, he contributed immensely on the floristics, phytogeography and IUCN and great listing of Indian orchids. He was also a part of many floristic expeditions in the difficult terrain of Himalayas and Western Ghats. He was also a part of the Protected Area Network program of Government of India. He has contributed towards documentation of Indian medicinal plants while working at Ministry of Ayush. He is a trained assessor and is the nodal officer at BSI for the project National Red List Assessment of India Flora and Fauna. He has so far worked on 20 scientific projects and published in reputed journals and books. Members of many scientific societies like IAAP, APT, TOSI, PHSST, and also is a member of IUCN SSC Orchid Specialist Group. He is in charge of publication section of BSI and editor of Nilambo, the Bulletin of Botanical Survey of India. So please come.
Thank you, madam, for this elaborate introduction. So, before I start my presentation, I would like to address the gathering. Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, Professor Panda, my dear friend and colleague Asita, the Principal of Singur Government College, and the respected Chairman of this session, and the galaxy of teachers, students, and researchers. It is really a proud and privileged moment for me, and your presence itself is the testimony of how important things we are going to do, and we are doing already. So, I am Dinesh Kumar Agarwal. I belong to Odisha, where we usually speak in Odia, and there is a saying in Odia from our childhood itself, from our even the kindergarten class, we were taught that Jalo hi Jivano means in Odia. It is quite similar to Bengali, so we can say life is equivalent to water is equivalent to life. So there is nothing bigger than this in this universe than water. So we also realize how actually important this is, and we must remember some years back. We used to talk in our society like, "Are joler moto taka shesh kore dicche." Mane money is more valuable and water is not valuable. Means we used to say, "Joler moto taka chole jacche, jol jerokom bhabe ye hoye jacche, taka chole jacche." Mane we did not realize the value of water. But over the years, that perception has changed, and both in our national and international level, and we are now protective of our source of water. And in my lecture, I will touch upon how actually and where we are considering this quantity of water in our usable potable water in our world, and why these Ramsar sites and how actually they are useful in fulfilling our needs. So I will start with a myth, what we all know, that Samudra Manthan. How actually water is equivalent to Amrit. Amrit means life. So you all might have heard in our childhood that Samudra Manthan. There was when the devatas they tried with Mandara Parvat and Basupinath, and they did years and years of churning the ocean, and then a lot of precious things came out. Why I am showing all these things to you is water is the source of all our precious things. Means water is equivalent to Amrit, and finally the Amrit Kavas also was found from this exercise. So with this means equivalence established by the government of India, we now consider the water bodies as the Amrit Sarovars. Like the means storage of water, what actually they are the container for this Amrit, and the government had initiated a lot of schemes to protect and develop these water bodies as Amrit Sarovar. So they call it as Amrit Sarovar scheme. So just to quickly go ahead with the simple snapshot of water on Earth. We had 71% of our planet area covered by water. We all know this means needless to mention. Most of these 71% is probably sea water, ocean water, and we have only 2.5% of all total water is fresh water. That is means apart from the salty water. So we have potable and easy accessible water just for 0.007%, and water in wetlands around 0.001% of total water. So what is the key message? You just realize from these facts that although wetlands contain only a tiny fraction of all water, they are vital for maintaining the hydrological cycle. আমরা অনেক জল দেখছি পুরো যখন when we look at this global map, this entire world is full of water, oceans. But again, these waters we are not able to use directly. So we need to realize the importance of the wetlands and what are the services the wetland used to provide to us. So when we are going to define the wetland, there are so many definitions, so many types of wetlands. I will touch upon one by one. So the land area that is saturated or flooded with water, occurring either permanently or seasonally. Then water is the primary factor controlling environment and its associated plants and animals. As I have said, without water, nothing is possible. So when you look at the photosynthesis, the formula of photosynthesis, okay, for formation of a glucose molecule, how many water molecules are required? So CO2 plus H2O, that is driven with sunlight, some energy getting from sunlight, and it is getting C6H12O6, and that is the basis of our life. So 6 CO2, 12 H2O. So that is the basic formula, and without photosynthesis, life is not at all possible. And without food, the entire humanity, the entire biodiversity cannot survive. So the basic primary reaction water is required. If the earth is not able to supply that 12 H2O to the 6 carbon dioxide, then probably we all would not be here. And this water again supports the hydrophytes. We have a lot of plant diversity, they are aquatic, and also the animal diversity. So wetland covers only 6% of all surface, but hosts 40% of all plant and animal species. you see the freshwater wetlands. I'm not talking about the oceanic wetlands. The freshwater wetlands, it is only the 6% of the Earth's surface, but it actually hosts more than 40% of all plant and animal species known till today. So these are the types of wetlands. You can see marine wetland, estuarine wetland, lacustrine wetland, riverine wetland, lacustrine wetland, and there are so many human-made wetlands also, like the rice fields, ponds, where we do the fish cultivation and all. So they are all considered as wetlands, maybe either temporary or permanent. So why we celebrate the World Wetland Day in February 2nd? This is because of this Ramsar Convention. This happened in Iran, the city of Ramsar, Iran, in 1971, and they actually realized the importance of water bodies, and those water bodies which have been proved as the water bodies of international importance. So they recognized those water bodies as the Ramsar sites, and with this recognition, those water bodies of wetlands, they got a lot of management priorities. So Ramsar Convention was a breakthrough event, you can say, in this wetland convention. So as I said, what is a Ramsar site? You can see Ramsar sites are designated by the Ramsar office that is situated in Iran, and for this designation we need to make a dossier with highlighting all its services what it provides to the humankind, the services what it provides to the ecosystem, and the sort of biodiversity and all what it supports, and with so many criteria and performance and all, when we submit the dossiers, they consider there is a committee over there, and they examine what we submitted, and they adopt and declare the eligible wetlands as a Ramsar sites. And as I said, once the Ramsar site is designated, there are some boundaries to the government and the Ramsar Convention as the office. They provide funding for its management and organization. So the core aspect why Ramsar sites are important, they are of international importance. They may be unique for something. They may be critical for supporting biodiversity, and there is a plan for its sustainable management. Then it provides a lot of vital services. Then because it is important, the wetland of important international importance, it has a global outreach, and there is a national policy. Once it is designated, the country needs to siphon some of its funding for its management and conservation. So the Ramsar Convention itself is having its own this definition of wetlands. So Article 1.1 of the Ramsar Convention, I will provide this PowerPoint to the organizers. They will teach all of you in your classrooms and all, wherever it means deemed fit for the syllabus and all. So for the students, mainly they can face this question in their exams and all, like what is the definition of the Ramsar site or wetlands as per the Ramsar site. These wetlands are the areas of marsh, fen, peatland or water, whether natural or artificial, that doesn't matter. Permanent or temporary, that also doesn't matter. with water that is static or flowing, that also doesn't matter. Fresh, brackish or salty water, including areas of marine water, the depth of which at low tide does not exceed 6 meters. So these are the definition of that Article 1.1 wetland. In addition, for the purpose of protecting coherent sites, Article 2.1 they provide a definition that is that advocates to incorporate the riparian and coastal zones and thus into the wetlands and islands or bodies of marine water deeper than 6 meters at low tide and lying within the wetlands. So these are the conditions and definitions provided by the Ramsar Convention for the wetlands. So you can just look at the 9 criteria. These are the 9 criteria required to be met for a wetland to be designated as a Ramsar site. So any of these 9 criteria, if you are living around one wetland or if the wetland complex is around you and you find that any of these 9 criteria is meeting or your wetland is fit with anything, then you can prepare a dossier and submit it to the Ramsar site. Means the biogeographic region, the means hosting the endangered species, threatened species, then how many populations of plants or animal species it is supporting, what is the carbon sequestration level, then what percentage of individual population of particular species is found in this wetland. So like this, there are these 9 criteria are there. So 3 categories, that is marine and coastal wetlands, inland wetlands, and human-made. Then the purpose of Ramsar site is for the wise use and designate for getting this recognition, like international recognition, and to generate cooperation and collaboration, international collaboration for transboundary wetlands and shared species. Then based on the Ramsar Convention's focus on wise use and cultural integration, some of the sites serve as clear examples. Like we have Ramsar sites under cultural category. They, for example, the Renuka Lake in Madhya Pradesh, Somori Lake of Ladakh, Rudrasagar Lake of Tripura, they meet the biodiversity criteria, but they are largely designated as Ramsar site because of their religious, historical or cultural importance. So these things are also important when we submit a dossier for Ramsar sites. Then there are Ramsar sites which are coming under the biological Ramsar sites. These like Sundarban in our West Bengal and the Chilka Lake of Odisha, they are not only the Ramsar sites, they themselves are one biosphere reserves in their own capacity. So they are home to a lot of biodiversity, plants, animals and microbes. So that's why they are included under this biological category. Then we have the mixed category Ramsar sites, where it is a blend of natural ecological process and also the human intervention, where actually this East Kolkata wetlands, you all might have seen when this berry and all, when we go through the EM bypass and all, lot of wetlands are there both the sides. So they come under this category, mixed category, East Kolkata wetland, then whole wetland in Madhya Pradesh and Rohtak Lake in Manipur. They become the lifeline of the local people. Then when we look at the statistics globally, total Ramsar sites worldwide. We have 2,524 designated Ramsar sites till today, and total surface area that is larger than the country of Mexico. We have 25 crore 31 lakh 32,454 hectares area of wetland designated under this Ramsar site. And UK is having the highest number of Ramsar sites, although the country is very small, but they took a lot of initiatives to protect their wetlands by designating all their wetlands into Ramsar site. It is having the highest number, 176. And we also have Mexico, that is having 144 Ramsar sites. So these are the two countries where maximum number of Ramsar sites are there. And the leading country by area is Brazil, that is having 267,000 square kilometers of Ramsar sites. And within Asia, India has the largest network of Ramsar sites with 98 sites as on February 2026. This year itself, 2 Ramsar sites were added. One is from the entire district of Uttar Pradesh, that is Patna Bird Sanctuary, and the another one is Kutch district of Gujarat, that is Chari Dhan. Then we also have the wetland city initiatives. They are presently 74 across the world, with China leading the list with 22 cities. In India, we have two wetland cities, that is Indore in Madhya Pradesh and Udaipur in Rajasthan. So, but apart from these Ramsar sites, we in our country, we have thousands of small wetlands. They really represent our freshwater wealth, freshwater ecosystem. I remember when I was working at Sikkim Himalaya, it itself is having more than 370 wetlands, high altitude wetlands, and we all are, as a tourist, sometime so we go to Sikkim, and you must have heard about Singur Lake, you must have heard about Gurudambar Lake. They are high altitude wetlands, and they are the source of a lot of rivers and water bodies downstream, and they become the catering agents for all those highly important rivers like Tista, Torsa. They all originated from wetlands. So nonetheless, these Ramsar sites alone, but we have a lot of wetlands of so many importance apart from these Ramsar sites also. So we need to conserve that. You can look at the map globally. The number of Ramsar sites is the highest in Britain. In India, we have 98. So this is just the numbers, country-wise numbers of Ramsar sites. I just try to represent it to a map. Then when we look at India, our country, we have, as I said, 98 Ramsar sites. Total area we have 15,84,140 hectares, and our country is the largest in Asia, and within our country, Tamil Nadu is having 20 Ramsar sites, followed by Uttar Pradesh having 11. West Bengal, unfortunately, we have only 2, but we need to work on this, and probably we can work with the Biodiversity Board and Forest Department and make some applications like more than 8 or 9, at least 10 applications we can submit so that at least some of them get approved. Then we have the largest Ramsar site in our country, that is Sundarban wetland, that is in our state, West Bengal. And the smallest one is Renuka wetland. Renuka lake is there. I have visited there. It is a small lake, but fully, rich with biodiversity, fish, birds, many migratory birds, they will come. Then The latest entrant to the list, as I said, Patna Bird Sanctuary in Uttara and Charidan in Kutch. They are listed recently this year itself. So we have classified our Indian wetlands into many categories based on the biogeographic regions, that is Himalayan wetlands, the high altitude lakes like Sokar Lake and Chandartal. They are in Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh. Chandartal is in there in Himachal. Then coastal and mangrove systems, we have Sundarban, we have Vitarkanika in Odisha. Then we inland and freshwater this system, Ramsar side, Kirodio in this Rajasthan, Loktek in Manipur. Then arid zone, that is Sambar Lake, largest inland salt lake, that is Sambar Lake. They are all Ramsar sites. So this is a view of the Sokar wetland complex. You can see the site is not very big, but it supports a lot of biodiversity, a lot of migratory birds. They used to come and nest over there for a particular season. This is a view of Kirodio National Park at Rajasthan. You can see the birds. This is Sambar Lake in Rajasthan. This is salty. This is the largest inland salty lake in our country. Vitarkanika mangrove, this wetland. This is also a Ramsar site. Hirapur Reservoir in Odisha. This is a man-made Ramsar site. This reservoir itself is so big, it spread across a lot of more than 50 square kilometers. So even you look at the Google map and all, this is very clearly visible, very big, and it provide a lot of service, fishing, recreation service, a lot of hydrological balance actually provides to the local ecosystem. Then Government of India is looking at developing a lot of schemes to protect the wetlands and Ramsar sites. So some of those schemes are highlighted. This is Amrit Dharawar scheme, as I have said. Water is equivalent to Amrit, and the wetlands are Amrit Dharawar. So it is rightly named the Amrit Dharawar, and the Government of India is promoting wise use of wetlands. And recently, our country has celebrated its 75th year of independence, and that was termed as the Amrit Mahotsav. And from the 75th years of independence to the 100th year of independence, that is centenary, this 25 years is called as Amrit Kala. So these 25 years we have planned to develop like anything, and this is like it is beyond gold and platinum. It is called as Amrit Kal. So the government is well aware of the importance. Then there is a Save Wetland campaign, whole of the society approach involving local communities and monitoring and restoration. Then Wetland City accreditation, we have Indore and Udaipur so far in India. And there is digital monitoring, implementation of Sahbhagita portal for real-time tracking of wetland health and threats. So this is what Amrit Dharawar scheme is there. Conservation and restoration, one of the objectives. Community participation, livelihood generation, then climate mitigation. The Mission Save Wetland campaign, this is again a governmental scheme. This is launched in February 4th, again a part of Amrit Mahotsav. And this has been designed to foster a whole of society approach for wetland conservation. Then Mission Sahbhagita, again launched by Government of India through MOU and FCC. And then there is another program that is MISTI. You might have heard about it because we have the largest mangrove bed in the world. So MISTI is Mangrove Initiative for Shoreline Habitats and Tangible Incomes. This was again launched in 2023, World Environment Day. And this aims to restore and protect the mangroves along the India's coastline. So, this is the Singur lake closed and the lake Victoria available. Because of these two cities have been named as the wetland cities. This is the 2-volume book what has been provided to this college today. As a part of Amrit Dharwar scheme, we were asked at BSI to document all the plant wealth that is supported by the Ramsar sites in our country. So our leadership in our department, Scenario of India, we took the work as a challenge and completed the work in a mission mode, and we designated 75 teams, one team for one wetland. So we covered the plant diversity elements in those 75 Ramsar sites and compiled it into the 2-volume compendium. So when we look at the statistics of the plant diversity in the wetlands, although these are only the first 10 that is available to us because of the time constraint and because we work as a mission mode. So whatever data was available, we compiled those data. And if you look at the 75 Ramsar sites of India so far, we have documented 4,126 species that is in and around the wetland. You don't consider that all these species are aquatic and they found only in the water. They are found around it. Because of their presence only, the wetlands are able to make their shape, their the importance and all these things like what they are now. So, what services the wetlands provide, whether it is a Ramsar sites or not, they provide a suitable habitat for hydrophytic plants, shoreline stabilization and plant protection, habitat for birds. As a source of food, we harvest a lot of food materials from wetlands. Then used for fish and shrimp and crab cultivation. And we also use these wetlands for ecotourism and recreation. So this whole lot of service our wetlands provide to this society. So, but again, for every good thing, we human beings, we are making them threatened because we have the temptation of utilizing the things to the optimum always. So these are the threats our wetlands are facing: habitat loss and alteration, pollution, invasive species. You all have seen the economy, climate change, siltation, overexploitation, then hydrological changes. These are the threats. Then our country-specific challenges we have. Somewhere we face encroachment, somewhere the wetlands they face siltation, pollution, climate change. You can see the example. I have just one example I have given. This is before bill from Guwahati to Shillong when we go. On the way, this lake is there. This was few years before, and this is recent photo. So how actually the encroachment and these things have degraded the ecosystem. Then we have Himalayan rivers, and this was the before. This is after. How the extraction of sand and all other things, they convert this nature and composition of these wetlands. Astamudi in Tamil Nadu, you see, this is how luxuriant it was earlier, and now what is the position. Then Sundarban also, it once upon a time, although very good stretch are still available, but still we are exploiting like anything. So the way forward, we have the integrated management plans. We need to move beyond the fragmented reports and have some comprehensive, dedicated things for this. And mainstreaming in development policies include this wetland management and all in our development policy. And we need to strengthen the legal and regulatory frameworks by implementing the wetland rules 2017 robustly. We need some community-based conservation practices. We need some climate change integration, monitoring and exploration, then regional cooperation. And I believe the best efforts can come from the students, the future generation. You all need to realize actually how they are important and how your contribution can protect the wetlands surrounding you, and that will give you a longer life and pure water and a very good quality life for your future generation. So I thank all of you. I thank the organizer. This is what from my side. Thank you. I'll be happy if I can have some sort of, I can clear the doubt in anybody's mind.
Hello. Thank you, Dr. Agrawal, for presenting a very beautiful lectures. And I personally believe the students who have present here today, they have at least their knowledges. He emphasized his lectures, especially on the classification of wetlands. Most of the teachers and students, they have a good idea about the wetlands, like this kind of wetlands, like this. He has emphasized a classification, a good classification of wetlands. Do you have any questions? Yes, first one.
Sir, I have one question, couple of questions actually. The thing is, thank you. Most of the wetlands are getting lost due to, just as we have said, due to encroachment and other things. Now the thing is, I have come across one term called Montreal record. Montreal record. So actually the Ramsar sites which are getting, destroyed, so those are under this record. So I just want to know why the Calcutta, if you have, you may try to find it out. So I had a query regarding that. And another query was that we see that Tamil Nadu has 20 Ramsar sites, right? In fact, they had earlier fewer than that, and they have increased the number. Now in West Bengal, for the past few decades, we have only a couple of them. Now the scientists like you who are in position of power and who can write some letters and talk to the government authorities. The thing is, instead of finding more Ramsar sites, we see that there is further encroachment on the Ramsar sites that already are there in Sundarban and East Calcutta wetland. So what are the policies that the central government and, for example, Botanical Survey of India or ZSI that they are doing so that it can be protected as it is, or maybe some new facilities can be included in the Ramsar site? Thank you so much.
So, very good aspect actually you have brought up. This two wetlands in our state, West Bengal, that is Sundarban and East Kolkata wetland. We, as an institute, Botanical Survey of India doesn't have any legal binding on this, but we are always a part of the consultation team and all. We advised to the government of India, we advised to the government of West Bengal Forest Department that what is the status of these things, and we document the aquatic life over there, BSI, ZSI. So we have been doing all these things, and still there are something, some encroachment and some negative things happening there at the local level. So the only requirement is probably the stricter implementation of rules. Rules are there, but probably we need to have the local willpower, the community itself to be made aware about to protect their own things. And of course, there are things at governmental level.
Tamil Nadu has done a commendable job.
Yeah, actually, what happens now, this is all about how actually we look at our things. Tamil Nadu, although it is means having very big number of these Ramsar sites and all, their area is very small. Small means lakes and ponds. They just prepare the dossier, send it to the Ramsar office. And because they prepare the dossier in such a nice way, they don't get the rejection. So here we have to have that willpower, because we are not the direct department who can submit a dossier, but our Bengal Forest Department needs to, or biodiversity board needs to prepare a dossier where all these 9 criteria are looked into, and then submit our application. And we need to have some campaigning also. That campaigning we can do, and we can get more. And the benefit is, when we get more number of Ramsar sites, we get more fund flowing, management, and there is an obligation. Means when it is designated as a Ramsar site, then we are bound to do something. It is not that we welcome ছেড়ে দিলে হবে না, মানে আমরা কিছু একটা করতে হবে. Then when I was in Sikkim, again the forest department took the initiative. There are so many wetlands. You all might have heard about Khechiperi Lake, Singur Lake and all. So Khechiperi Lake is such an area that is very small, but culturally very means important. People go there. It is called as the Lake of Wish. আমি গেছিলাম ওখানে, আমাকে বলা হলো যে এখানে নাকি যা উইশ চাইলে ওটা পুরো হয়েছে, লোকে কিছু একটা মানে দীপক জ্বালিয়ে ওখানে ইয়ে করবে। Then the local people are highly protective about that particular lake. ওখান থেকে পাতাও নিতে দেয় না, কিছু একটু বার করতে দেয়। Then forest department wanted to prepare a dossier. I was a part of that team, and me and my colleague, we provided a list of 480 species what actually is growing in that lake, in and around surrounding that lake. And then our application got accepted by the Ramsar Convention, and that is now designated as Ramsar site. So the similar approach we need to follow in our state also, to just submit as many applications as possible. That application can come from local level or through forest department. So probably we will do better work here in this state. Thank you.
Any other questions from student side? Yes.
Very good presentation. Enough information regarding the wetlands and just to improve my knowledge, this is not queries. Wetlands give so many ecosystem services for the human all beings. Starting from ecotourism to other things. Now today's countries that we are going that ecosystem go further. Is there any studies of any particular places or any wetlands or any Ramsar sites or any other wetlands in India for something, and Ramsar sites is 76 as is there any qualitative data, because today's countries are not very with respect to life species. any land use. Either it is a agricultural land use, forest land use, or any IPC protocols. And trading start. And in right now it is market around in India also there are so many startups starting. Now the custodians of these wetlands or the botanical surveys, if it is under the maintenance and conservation or biodiversity network, are they quantifying that what how much carbon is sequestered in a time duration, maybe 5 years or any kind of sequestration? How much? Because it is known that wetlands contains soil monomer profile is much more carbon than photosynthesis or other land. So first thing is in my mind is coming that there is no land use policy right now. And there is a encroachment in the wetlands in the Kolkata, every that number side also. So with urbanization and encroachment as you have mentioned time, but can for ecosystem services, but then carbon measurement, it would have any study, any botanical study. None botanical survey of India?
Yeah, no, not by Botanical Survey of India, but the studies are there sporadically for Rocktek Lake, for some lake, Astamudi and all in Tamil Nadu. They are very small.
What the organization studying carbon sequestration?
No, it is not being studied at the organizational level. It is by individual interest only. So academic purpose. Like if I get a PhD or if I get a good research paper published or something. So because of that only the studies are happening. But it is a good area and explore that from the policy level itself means if one can quantify the carbon sequestration and all, then this can earn a lot of dividends for all of us. That is one thing. Second thing, probably the technical feasibility. Lot of these wetlands are again getting a lot of eutrophication problem, like some of the pollutants, industrial effluents, and they are all again blended into this. So, yeah.
After return forest, I was in nearer to Vilfara also.
Yes.
Both the brothers bioland, suppose plantation has been done,
Yes.
sequester carbon, so
Yes.
and RBC protocol rate plus mechanism.
Yes.
Separate.
Yes.
In terms of products.
Yes.
Community-based approach
Yes.
for maintenance of this forest,
Yes.
deforestation.
Yes.
Is there any protocol in the wetland for the restrict?
No, so far.
So far. No particular rule.
So far, no. I have no idea.
But that's the answer.
Yeah, let me know.
আর স্টুডেন্টদের কাছ থেকে কোনো কোশ্চেন্স, any questions from student side? We are expecting some questions from you. So the phone number of Dr. Agarwala definitely in line with our principal sir. So if you want to contact with Dr. Vinesh Agarwala, you can contact with him. Their futures. So presentation was very beautiful and lots of information was there. I think now students and faculties have enriched their knowledges from your lectures. Thank you so much for delivering such a beautiful lecture.
অদিতি জয়েন করেছে তো?
Professor Tripathi, can you hear us? Okay, so we are not audible. Can you hear us? Just a minute, sir. Just a minute. Sir, can you hear us?
একটু আসলে ওই অনলাইনের ব্যাপারটা না একটু প্রবলেম হচ্ছে, একটু এসো তো সেমিনার। হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
Sir, can you hear us right now? Sir, your name please. Please unmute. Sir, can you hear us? Sir, can you hear us right now?
ওনারা আমাদেরকে শুনতে পারেন।
ও ক্রিয়েট করে ও সেখানে রয়ে গেল, ওইটা গোটা রয়ে গেল, এইটাই অর্থাৎ একটা হতে পারে এখানে তুমি একটা ক্রিয়েট করে ফেলে দাও।
Sir, can you hear us right now?
আমরা ক্রিয়েট করে দেবো। আমি বলছি যাও সেখানে বাড়িতে তারপরে বুঝতে পারবো।
এটা দিয়ে পোস্ট করেছো মানে এটা পোস্টটাই দিয়ে
That flow
শুনতে পাচ্ছেন সব কিছু, আমরা কিছু পাচ্ছি না। ও পাচ্ছে না, ইনফ্রাস্ট্রাকচার নেই। তারা শুনতে পাচ্ছে, আমরা এখানে পাচ্ছি না।
মনে হচ্ছে
এখানে সেটিংটা ঠিক আছে তো? মানে পজিশনটা ঠিক আছে তো?
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ পজিশন ঠিক আছে।
তুমি থাকো। হ্যাঁ আমি
আমি একটা প্রস্তাব দিলাম ভাস্কর, বললাম যে উনি ওখানে একটা লেকচার দরকার দিয়ে মোবাইলে পাঠিয়ে সেটা আপনার দর্শকদের শুনে যাবে, ভিডিও পানি করতে শুরু করুন।
উনি বললেন না,
না না আমার মোবাইলে করে দাও।
এটাই তো অর্গানিক, আমাকে অর্গানিক কিন্তু ভাবতে হবে, আমাকে অর্গানিক কিছু না ভাবতে হবে।
বলুন আমার মোবাইল থেকে দেখবো, সবাই মোবাইল
হ্যাঁ, সবার মোবাইল দেখুন।
একসাথে একটা মোবাইল অন করলে কিন্তু হবে।
আমরা তো সাউন্ডটা ঠিক করে
অডিও অফ করলে কিছু হবে না।
প্রোগ্রামটা তো হবে, হ্যাঁ প্রোগ্রামটা তো হবে।
হ্যাঁ, এটাই দেখুন।
আপনার কোথাও দিতে হবে না, তাই না?
ক্রিয়েট করা কাজ করছে।
এটা দিকে হবে না,
এটা দিয়ে স্যার আমি এখন জয়েন করতে পারিনি।
পারেনি।
লিঙ্কটা কে ক্রিয়েট করেছে? সে অ্যাডমিন না বলে অ্যাডমিন কালকে একটা লিঙ্ক ক্রিয়েট করা ছিল, তাতে জয়েন করেছিলেন, কিন্তু তাতে কিছু শোনা যাচ্ছে না। আজকে আবার একটা লিঙ্ক ক্রিয়েট করে রেখে দেওয়া, আমরা এখান থেকেই করলাম। ওটাই জয়েন করতে পেরেছিলেন, ওটাতে জয়েন করলেই সুবিধা।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
তাহলে বাকি
বলো তুমি পুরোটা ওইটা দিয়ে অন করো, এটা দিয়ে অন করো। ওটা মোবাইল নেটওয়ার্কটা অন করে দাও, ওয়াইফাইটা অলরেডি everybody mobile is listening, but here state actually they are listening. Okay.
শুনতেই বুঝতেই পারছি না তো না
না এটা ওয়াইফাই জয়েন করা নেই স্যার, এটা
সবাইকে তো দিয়ে
লাগিয়ে দিচ্ছি।
দিয়ে দাও সবাই।
পুরোনো দিনটাতে কাজ করবো, শেয়ার করে দাও, জয়েন করিয়ে দাও সবাইকে। হ্যাঁ, জয়েন করিয়ে দাও।
রিসিভ করবেন বলে দিতে পারছি আগে আমাদের এখানে হবে একটা লোক বসে আছে উনি ওনার সাথে বসে আছে করতে পারছেন
দেখো তো জয়েন করো তো
সবাই জয়েন করার জন্য বলছি
এই লিঙ্ক পাঠিয়ে দেখো
যদি হয়ে যায় দাদা ওয়েট ওয়েট করো যদি শুনতে পায় তাহলে জয়েন করা দরকার হয়ে যাবে
ও আচ্ছা
একটু ওয়েট করো সবাই আবার পলিটিক্যাল যেতে একটু মুশকিল হবে জয়েন করলেই বলে
Yes, sir.
audio and video. জবাব থেকে জব জবের বোতল
আস্তে আস্তে পরিষ্কার
তোমার কাছে এসটি বাড়ি এটা আছে তো
এই বাকিরা জয়েন করো এই সাথে কথা শোনা আস্তে আস্তে আস্তে
Now coming to the next session, we are already late, sir. The speaker is our guest, Dr. S.K. Tripathi, who is from Mizoram University and who is an online platform to provide his lecture. Welcome, sir, and a very good afternoon. We are now in the next session, and this session will be chaired by Dr. Dinesh Agarwala, sir. Coming to the introduction of Dr. S.K. Tripathi, it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Srikant Tripathi, a distinguished academician and researcher in the field of ecology and environmental science. Dr. Tripathi is currently serving as a senior professor in the Department of Forestry at Mizoram University, Aizawl. Dr. Tripathi completed his MSc in botany from Kumon University with first division and earned his PhD in botany from Benares Hindu University, specializing in forest ecology. With an academic and research career spanning more than 3 decades, he has held several prestigious positions, including professor, associate professor, and reader at Mizoram University, as well as research associate and scientist at Benares Hindu University. His international exposure includes serving as JSPS Fellow and visiting associate professor at Hokkaido University, Japan, and working as a project scientist in an ISRO-sponsored project. His areas of expertise include forest ecology, soil science, global change and forest, restoration ecology, and biostatistics. In addition to teaching and research, Dr. Tripathi has made significant contributions to academic administration, curriculum development, examination conduct, and thesis evaluation. His dedication to advancing ecological research and forestry education has earned him wide respect in the academic community. Sir, please start your session. Sorry being late.
starting my presentation. We have land change that is conversion of natural ecosystems to man-made ecosystems, and that leads to the creation of natural ecosystems. Wetlands are disappearing at much faster rate than any other ecosystems. In totality, the ecosystems we have, let's say, significant loss of biodiversity, alterations in the global cycles, carbon nitrogen, that creates a major problem, that increase in the biogenic gases like carbon dioxide, chlorofluorocarbon, methane, and the size of nitrogen. There is changes in the gaseous exchange, ozone layer depletion, and the sustainability issues. These are the major problems of the day that we have. And what are the basic reasons why we have come up over here? You can look at the interactions between the ecosystems that is caused towards the present. If you can look into the prehistoric era during 1950 prehistoric era, when the man was gatherers, gatherers, when we were part of the natural ecosystems, we were living in the forest, we were as a component of the biosphere. And at that time, we were having natural forests, grasslands, lakes, and the rivers. They were all pure. And there was no problem of sustainability or environmental change. What has happened during the course of time, when we have separated ourselves from the natural ecosystems, we are now a different component, and we are interacting with the forest. Rather, we are affecting the forest and we are getting affected by the environment. During the course of time, during the process, what has happened? We have created two major ecosystems. They are urban and rural ecosystems and the cropland ecosystems. They are man-made ecosystems. And as a result, natural forests, grasslands, lakes, and rivers, they are increasing. And why we have done so? During the course of 1950 to 2017, we can look into the last 17 years. There is a tremendous increase in the human population worldwide and even in India also. It's 4 or 5 times increase there. World GDP has increased. For that, what we did, we have started damming of rivers. We have lost many tropical rainforests, many species they have got extinct. Then the loss of ozone layer problem. We have increased in the decadal frequency. So these are the resultant and causes that we have done. This is the major problems of the environmental problems of the day. Then we can come up with the natural and the man-made interactions in ecosystems. All human societies that will evolve within the natural ecosystems. Human societies that have interacted with the natural ecosystems, for example, the forest ecosystems, that leads to either it could be burning of power or centrifugal irrigation, or it could be a degradation for savanna, so that the grazing can be done by the animals, then the deforestation and the cultivation for permanent agriculture or the plantation activities for getting the foods or for getting the fruits. That is what we have interacted and we have just developed variety of ecosystem types. You see, if you can look into the natural forest ecosystems, they are complex, having high stratification, 5 biomass. They have biomass, 100 tons per meter more. High nutrient storage in the vegetation. vegetation and the soil components, their high production capacity, and balanced nutrient cycle. When we are degrading the natural ecosystems, or we are just going for the urbanization of the farmlands or any plantation activities, we are losing their entities. Most of the natural ecosystems, they are losing their entities, like acidification, biomass capacity, this nutrient storage capacity, they are all decreased. And ultimately, the nutrient cycle is getting unbalanced during the course of fragmentation. If you can look into a piece of forest ecosystems, if we are degrading, a huge amount of the biodiversity is getting decreased. Because each and every state of the forest, if you can look into, it has a ladder-like arrangement. During the understory vegetation, there is a huge amount of biodiversity that is unassociated. And then there is a significantly different kind of biodiversity for the species. They are associated with canopy and emergent species. They are interacting with each other. And not only that, this is what we can visually see. To maintain this structure, above ground canopy that we are looking into, there is a huge amount of the biodiversity that is present below the soil. They are interacting with each other and the soil. They go for the soil farming processes. They regenerate nutrients, which continuously supply of nutrients for vegetation to grow, to maintain its complete structure. That is why it is possible. And if some of our piece of forest is getting degraded, you see enormous amount of the biodiversity is getting lost to the ecosystems. Why we need biodiversity? Biodiversity is a totality of the ecosystem and its structural function and composition. This is a necessary condition for life-supporting systems, that is, soil formation, nutrient cycle, and production. And they provide us various ecosystem services like provisioning services, food, water, fuel, fiber, biochemicals, energies, regulating services, climate, disease, pest, floods, and water quality, spiritual quality, recreation, and aesthetic values. All these are irreplaceable components of natural ecosystems, and that is needed for the overall well-being of the human society. That is required for security, material supply, health, good social relations, freedom, and choice. If you can look at 1997, for the first time, Australia and co-workers has valued the ecosystem services, and the paper was published in Nature in 1987. The total value of the ecosystem services that was accounted in 1997 was $33 trillion. 33 trillion. Same articles then died in 2011, and that time the total ecosystem services was calculated $125 billion. I can just see in 1997 the world GDP was $31 trillion. It was less than, slightly less than the value of the ecosystem services that were created in I hope I am able to all of you.
Yes,
hello?
Yes, we can hear.
Hello? Yes, sir. Okay, all right. Then in 2011, when the ecosystem services, value of ecosystem services reached $125 trillion, the world GDP was $75 trillion only, which was substantially increasing. So when the compared to the world GDP, 75 trillion. This is to remember. Out of 125 trillion ecosystem service spent, only 27 trillion US dollar was included in the GDP. Other was not included in the GDP. Where most ecosystem services are not marketed, regulating services such as storms and flood protection, climate regulation, and the habitat for the biodiversity are the others. As for the new estimates of global value of ecosystem, coastal wetlands on the storm protection alone are around 500 billion US dollars per year, as per Costanza with all 2021. So these are the certain forecasts, and about 40% of the known oil reserves that is getting exhausted by the humans in the last 150 years, that took hundreds of millions of years to generate. 50% land surface transformed, affecting the biodiversity, soil biology, and the climate. Concentration of all accessible fresh water is inappropriate for the human use, and the groundwater resources are being rapidly depleted and contaminated. So, this is the pressure for the country. Dry days are frequent, or 38% drop in per capita water availability by 2050. By 2100, sea level rises about 50 centimeters, 40 centimeters, that leads to about 50 million people. Then they would be displaced in the coastal areas. 70% fall in the region if temperature rises by half degree Celsius. By 2035, nuclear production fall about 30%. Vector-borne diseases and those associated with floods and the drought will increase. We have just seen the COVID pandemic the years before. 25% fluoride and fauna may disappear by 2030. These are the atmospheric concentration of CO2. As we know that it was around 1960, and now it has come to around over 420 ppm. So if you can look into the total global carbon cycle, anthropogenic perturbations in the global carbon cycle, about total 40 gigaton carbon we are releasing to the atmosphere every year. Out of this 35%, 35 gigaton is associated with the fossil fuel and 5 gigaton is associated with the climate change. Out of which we are sequestering around 21 gigaton carbon every year, 11 in the biosphere and the 10 in the ocean, and therefore net resultant 90 gigaton carbon is released every year to the atmosphere, and the carbon dioxide concentration is increasing in the atmosphere that leads to greenhouse effect, increasing temperature, and that has a lot of impact on the human beings and even other animals and even other vegetation in a different way. So this is the level change emission. This is the global fossil fuel CO2 emission. And these are the top emitters. China is the top emitters, followed by USA, European Union, India, Russia, and Japan. These are the projected increase to various fossil fuel components like the coal, oil, gas, cement, etc. You can come up with the wetland conservation and restoration. Why it is important? Wetlands are disappearing 3 times faster than forests, and they are recognized as the most threatened ecosystems. The latest estimates show that 35% of the world's wetlands have been lost since 1970, mainly due to human activities such as dredging and the increasing of agriculture, over-extraction of water, urban development, and pollution. Wetland restoration is a major problem. The status, trends, and the gaps. If you can just see, there is a huge degradation in the wetlands, and the restoration is a very major challenge. How we can restore them, and that creates a problem of groundwater recharge, which I have already emphasized that we the ecosystem, the water we have inside the downside to the ground is getting contaminated, and they are getting over-exploited, and therefore many places in India and other parts of the world, people they do not have drinking water. So wetland restoration is a major challenge that we should take up. The key challenges faced by the insights on how to overcome the barriers, opportunities to scale wetland restoration by having intergovernmental platform on the biodiversity and ecosystem services established in Montreal. They have the basic science that they try to do is 10 years to avoid catastrophic climate change and biodiversity loss. 75% Earth's land, 66% of the oceans impacted by human activities. 40% of the world population that is suffering effects of soil degradation. This is as per the intergovernmental platform on biodiversity and ecosystem services. And 1.5 degrees Celsius would no longer attainable without boosting the carbon sinks. If we could not increase the carbon sinks, we cannot attain the goal of 1.5 degrees Celsius. So the policy background is International Resolution March 1, 2019 to prevent, halt and reverse the degradation of ecosystems worldwide. We should prevent, halt and reverse the degradation of the ecosystems means we should go for the restoration. United Nations Environmental Program and the Agriculture Organization invited to lead the implementation of decade in collaboration with secretaries of Rio Conventions, other relevant parties, environmental agreements, and entities of the United Nations system for conservation and restoration of ecosystems over the world. Doing that, the opportunity to scale up wetlands restoration. First 10 United Nations World Restoration Flagship Programs has been started. In Kazakhstan, India, Indonesia, Costa Rica, Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, Panama, Burkina Faso and Niger, Uganda, Serbia, Rwanda, and one program is here in India, Namibia, Abu Dhabi, Republic of China, Brazil, Argentina. So, 11 flagship programs that have been started on the wetlands restoration in the different parts of the world. So, the action plan for 2021 to 30, the global plan to move from the strategy to action. There is a tool for all partners to collaborate and the lead implementing the conclusions of the United Nations decade to global goals and the sustainable development goals, formalizing thematic leadership by partners, seeking starting launches on trade, indigenous peoples, and finance at Global Landscape Forum on Climate in November 2022. 12 themes of action planned draft to meeting present challenges that considers the biodiversity, business, climate, cities, communities, education, finance, human nature relationship, marine and freshwater, protection, and youth. United Nations decade public launch with World Environment Day 2021 Ecosystem Restoration Program 2021-2030 with the vision a world where for the health and well-being of all life on the earth, that of future generation, the relationship between humans and the nature has been restored, where the area of healthy ecosystems is increasing and where the ecosystem loss, fragmentation and the degradation have been ended. Mission areas to restore the manage with a focus on enhancing and supporting existing restoration commitments and implementation of new conventions and sustainable development goals. This was the world overview. Now I'm coming to the Northeast India. Many of you might have visited Northeastern India, but otherwise you might have heard about, might have read about the Northeastern India. This region has immense potential. It has a huge amount of biodiversity, and this region is considered in the biodiversity hotspot. Biodiversity hotspot is identified based on characteristics of the ecosystems. One is the number of endemic species. The area should have high endemism, means high number of species should be endemic that should not be found anywhere else, and the high degree of threat to that particular ecosystems. Means these two things are existing in this area. So we have huge amount of biodiversity. You can just see the figures that has been shown here, with a substantially large proportion of the species there of endemic in nature. They are found nowhere on the earth. Therefore, this area has significant potential for the sustainable development goals if they can be properly managed or protected or somehow sustainably used. But there are challenges too. If you can look into the vulnerability index of the Himalayan states, how the states were scored on the vulnerability index. States which have low per capita income, low area under the irrigation, and the low area under the forest or households, and high area under the open forest receive a high vulnerability score. For example, Assam has high vulnerability index, Mizoram, Jammu and Kashmir, Sikkim and Uttarakhand has the lowest vulnerability index. The degree of threat is very high than the ecosystems. One of the major the practice of cultivation which is prevailing in the different parts of the world in tropical forests. But of course, this is continuing in Northeastern India. So, why it is continuing? What are the basic reasons? The basis of existence of flesh and bone, burning of biomass. This is important for stabilizing the soil. This is important for weed control, release of biomass, block, nutrients, and the labor saving. Of course, they don't require any training to the farmers, and they do not require any infrastructure or any financial support for them. Simply they used to go to the field, they demarcate the cut them, and let them get dry, and then after that they go on EDC and they start cultivation and the rain first 10 house. We have had some the ones DSC project over the last year. I think that is complete. Let us do this later on. And they are getting food, fiber, fuel, fruit, water, flower, and forest. So this is also important for ethnobiodiversity conservation, balance protection, herbal medicines that can be used by the different households where this family health services are not available. Conservation of pollinators, coexistence with the nature. So of course it has some negative effects also on the microbial diversity and the soil erosion, but it works when it has become way of life. So we have impact assessment of tuning and native plants and the soil microbiota and the restoration of sustainable jute ecosystems that has been carried out for 5 years, from 2007 to 2017 in Umiam, Meghalaya, Guwahati, Shillong, Jharkhand, Tripura, Mizoram University, Nagaland University, and the campus. So there were 8 centers throughout the northeastern region. What we have done here, we have established one plant and one non-pot plant. Our basic thought was if we can just remove the burning, if we are decomposing the litter over there on the ground itself, so that can promote the biomass, promote the taproot. What we have done, we have selected we have taken 3 families, 5 years, 10 years, and 20 years. In each plot, we have taken one plot which was burnt and the other was unburnt. In the burnt plot, what we did is, we have made 3 treatments where we have inoculated bioinoculant that was indigenously developed. And in one part, we have added some litter from the adjoining forest. In another part, we have taken the soil from the adjoining forest and we have spread over there. Our intention was, if the microbial diversity during the burning it was getting affected, then that can be inoculated. That goes by biodiversity, that can be inoculated, that can provide maintain the productivity. That was the idea behind. And the one part we had control. This whole setup, 3 treatment was established in the whole one and unburnt part. In unburnt part, what we found that there was no productivity because of the weed. Weed overcompete with these crops. So in the other plots, so nothing happens. That was immediately ruled out after 6 months. So we have stopped. In the burning was necessary for the stabilization of soil and for the weed management, sometimes insect management. So we have gone over there. And we found that only 2 litter inoculation and this microinoculant, they have increased the productivity from 1.5 to 2 times. Other treatments were having no effect, like spreading soil specific microorganisms in population is more useful than anything else. So this was the impact on of biomass on the soil temperature, and then we have taken a lot of information and we have developed this diagram that was. This is the soil carbon study that was done up to 1 meter down the soil profile, and you can see here the differences in the basic soil properties like soil carbon, stock, that increase in the higher soil land severely in the common. Then the decrease was not that much. Means the below the soil of the 30-40 centimeter. They are only one upper depth, like 10 centimeter or 20 centimeter. The effect is there, otherwise the effect is not there. And this is for the soil carbon. This is phosphorus, calcium, I think that will not be very interesting. The same result was there. If you can come here, we wanted to see the effect of erosion, soil erosion. We have taken one open loop, which was carried out by the farmers. Then another practice that the farmers they used to do is they are putting the log bunting. They are putting the logs alongside the slopes to check the soil erosion. They are establishing hedgerows and the natural forest. So we have taken these four systems, and you see the soil erosion was around 60 ton per hectare per year in the open where the tuning was continued in the left side. You see the photo at the left. After that, the second photo you can just see. This is the log bunting. When the log bunting was done, the reduction, the runoff loss of soil was reduced more than half, and that came to 26 ton per hectare. When the hedgerows was grown, that is there, then it came down to around 14.66 ton per hectare. It was almost comparable to the soil erosion that was occurring in natural forest. That was around 12.77 ton per hectare per year. Accordingly, the losses of total carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, sodium, magnesium, calcium, potassium, and manganese was taken place. So then let us come to the bad areas of the northeastern region. This is the geographic junction of the Indian and Oriental landmasses. This is a center of origin for many crops like Munsan citrus and has high turnover of endemic species. Identification and characterization of different species of orchids, underutilized food species, endemic fishes, ethno-pathological plants, edible insects, etc. Identification of unique endemic species with potential for bioprospective, barcoding of the species and the database preparation. To develop biotechnological interventions for sustainable development and utilization of bioresources, we need to culture rich biodiversity of region like orchids, medicinal plants, edible fruits, vegetables, edible insects, microbes, endemic fish, this and the mollusks. Then you can go for bioprospecting, like after identification and isolation, identification, characterization of the microbes, DNA and banks of their preservation for the conservation. Then we can use these medicinal plants and the orchids for the novel drugs, fruits, especially underutilized fruits, energy and the health drinks, rich in the nutrients and the antioxidants, microbes, biofertilizers, drugs, enzymes, etc., insect species, mollusks, and organisms for technology patenting and commercialization. So, this is identification, characterization of microbes for their industrial application in the pharmacy, biofertilizer, enzymes and the crop improvement, identification of novel active compounds, designing and developing new drugs, identification of novel genes for climate, insect pest resistance, improvement and development of resistant crop varieties, conservation and sustainable utilization of food security, and the entrepreneurship development. So if you can do this, then we can come up with the development of biofertilizer and biopesticides, isolation and characterization of profiling of beneficial rhizosphere microbes, soil plant microbe interaction. And then we can go for patenting and the commercialization of technology and developing organic farming practices that can be used for sustainable development of the trees. So, to undertake the capacity building, human resource development, the bioresource conservation and management is required, for which we have to go for massive training program on the conservation and sustainable utilization of natural resources locally, food and college students, integrated development through business innovation centers, induction and mid-care. There is skill upgradation programs for scientists and technical staffs in cutting-edge areas of research, bioresources and documentation, innovation and utilization, exposure and hands-on training to develop and post-development students in the area of products from pieces, some mollusks, packages for organic cropping, cash crops, rearing of fish, shellworm, and other insects. And we can have licensing of technologies for the industrial development. This will lead to income. Industry, public-private partnership, and with the sectors. But some addresses, there are some schemes which are going on to address the issues of farming in the northeastern region, integrated with paddy fishery cultivation. Leaves of Laningia microphylla is prevailing in the sites used for soil fertility enhancement in the agricultural sites. Paddy straw is used as mulch for producing turmeric. Leaves of sugarwood is also used as a mulch for producing turmeric and the ginger. Mango planted with the maize crops. There are different variety of these agro farming systems are being cultivated. Mango planted in the local paddy, pineapple planted in interspaces of mango trees, turmeric planted in interspaces of Jatropha. Water is a major problem in the northeastern region, as we know that we have high rainfall, but when the rainfall occurs, all the rain that gets into the river and that creates a problem in the soil. But ultimately, we do not have water here for the irrigation purposes or for the usage throughout the year. Therefore, developing some small water harvesting tanks and a farmhouse that can be used for the irrigation purposes can enhance the agricultural productivity. And some farmers, they are now doing by taking some of the help, this and that. There are some government schemes also, and even the university people, they are also helping in this one. So integrated farming systems. We also have some projects to initiate some integrated farming systems. So we have taken we have developed societies in the two villages where the group of farmers, they united. They are just getting some cow, some pigs, and even the chiglets produce, and even the farming houses are there. They have some fishery unit for the like the biofloc, hatcheries units to produce the fingerlings and to develop grow fishes also. So they have been doing good through societal mode. So this is also a good scheme that can be continued from the public-private partnership that can provide better sustainability issues in the region. Greenhouse farming has also been introduced by us during our DBT project. Farmers, they are now engaged in the greenhouse farming. Those who can, wait for 1 or 2 years and they can invest some money. Greenhouses are Petrosia candida, Leventia petrolia, and Leopera annually. In between the interspaces of greenhouse, pineapple, maize, vegetables, soybean, rice are planted. So this soil erosion problem is minimized and the soil fertility is enhanced. This is the farmers' training that we continue connecting the farmers' houses so that they can. This is a community farm, not the farmers' houses, so that they can introduce this system in a different regions, and this is going well. Value addition of forest products like Scenario. Scenario is a fruit here. It is it has high vitamin C, so the fruits are developed. Then bamboo, they are using it. It is a high source of potassium. This is used for in the blood pressure, and then honey production. This is some vermicomposting aquaculture, archidarium, and the vermicomposting units. Now if we can come to the conservation issues, we need to maintain the essential ecological processes and the life support systems on which the humans are biology, economic activities depends. Preservation of the species, the genetic resources, and sustainable use of the species and ecosystems which supports that is essential. And let me take just few minutes on the sustainability problems. Depletion of finite resources, fuel, soil, mineral, species, overuse of renewable resources, forest, fish and wildlife, fertility, public fund, pollution, air, water and the soil, inequity, economic, political, social and gender. This is as for world conservation of environment and development. Species loss, endangered species and species. What are the solutions? Cyclical material use, open natural scientists, as there is a case I just explained in the integrated farming systems, safe reliable energy, conservation, renewable energy, substitution, interim measures, line-based managers, health, creativity, communication, coordination, appreciation, learning, intellectual and spiritual development. The major problem of this sustainability is the lack of ecosystem-based decision making. If you can look into the figures, figure down at the left-hand side, what is emphasis? If you can take the pillars of sustainability, society, economy, and the environment, these are the three pillars. Where is more emphasis? Significantly lower amount of emphasis is placed on the economy. Then second, we have society, and the environment is given least priority. So what about the GDP that we are growing? It is on the cost of environment and the society. If we can just provide equal sharing to economy, environment and the society, then we can have a healthy ecosystem and that will be sustainable. Thank you.
Thank you so much for a nice and comprehensive presentation. I congratulate you for this comprehensive coverage. So we all are here. Sir, is it okay now?
Yes.
Yes. So sir, I am Dinesh Agrawal. I congratulate you, sir, for this comprehensive presentation. We all have enlightened through. Yeah.
Sorry, I think I think you have some questions. I think I just want
No. This is widely covered all this topic, and this is quite useful for the students and faculties. So we agree for this internet connectivity and all. So probably we will find a better chance next time. So I thank you, sir, on behalf of the organizers. And now I would like to request the students to take up your advice and get some leads from what you have presented. And they must look into the huge amount of resources what we have in our nature and try to extract to our objective. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Sir, hello. Yeah, sir, honestly, sir. Yeah, actually, sir, I also joined here recently, sir. Yeah, that's why I have no actually idea. So that issue, sir, this is first time, and next time, sir, I think we will work. No problem. Actually, some internet issue was there, sir. Net problem was there. That's why. Yeah. From our side, sir, actually. Yes. Yeah. So now it is solved, sir. But students are assets and they are sitting here, sir. They all your friends, sir. Or botanic jewel, Department of Botanic Jewel. They are hard. They enjoy, sir. Faculty members are so here. And next time, sir, we'll do. And we'll try on your presence and experience. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your. Okay, sir, then I will, sir, please, sir, send you, sir, then number, and I will send you, sir, certificate, everything, sir, by post. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay, sir. No.
Next, coming to the speech which is supposed to be delivered by Dr. Singur. Presently, I can give you certain information about her. Presently, she is working as a research associate in BSI. Previously, she served as Junior Research Fellow and Senior Research Fellow in Botanical Survey of India from 2013 to 2018. She has an expertise in taxonomy, nomenclature, and assessing the stages of plants. Presently, she is working on systematics of coleotype in India and its trait status. She has lots of contributions in international and national journals. She has written in the book Flora of India, Volume 16, Marcinaceae to Apocynaceae, and is the global and regional assessor in IUCN. Rijupalika ma'am, please continue.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words. The time it takes to my presentation getting ready. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers who have invited me here. I completely understand how it feels when you wait for lunch and you need to listen to the lectures which are quite boring. You don't want to listen, but you're compelled to listen because your teacher is sitting in front. Now the situation is same for me as well, because though the college I'm standing here, I have my teacher from my graduation to my postdoc mentor. So you can understand the nervousness. From BSc to postdoc, I am having all my teachers here. So it's more like my assessment going on, but I will be very quick. Now, let me take this slide. What you all are hearing since morning, my presentation is a sort of revision of what you have heard since morning. The terms and the terminologies which are being very difficult for you to understand, I suppose, that are actually difficult when it is written. But wetland is actually very easy term where you dwell every day since your childhood, and you have to dwell till you are here on this earth. So by now you know the definition given by the Ramsar in Article 1.1, what sir has already told. There is not like, it is very easy, like it can be fresh water, it can be saline water, it can be marine, it can be permanent, it can be temporary, it can be like human made. So the wide range of water bodies and the wetlands have been covered by Ramsar Convention to designate them as wetlands. So the wetlands are found from tundra region to the tropics. So it's a huge area. So when we consider that this is a huge area, so what is, like, how much of the earth's surface is covered by the wetlands? আমরা কি জানি, আমরা কি সাধারণত বলি পৃথিবীর কভাগ জল 3 ভাগ, কভাগ ল্যান্ড মাস, তাহলে স্বাভাবিকভাবে it's natural that there will be more wetlands. So how much? 6% of Earth's coverage is for the wetlands. Okay. In India, what is the scenario in our country? We are contributing nearly 4.63% to the land mass, the wetlands. So, যখন এতগুলো wetlands থাকছে, there has to be certain classification which has already been said by Mr. So there are 42 types of wetlands, but they are placed in broad in 3 categories. One is marine and coastal, the other is inland waterlands, and the other is human-made wetlands. So now you are listening Ramsar Convention. Constantly you are hearing this term. So what is Ramsar? Anyone? Where is Ramsar? What is Ramsar actually? We are all talking about Ramsar sites, Ramsar Convention. Iran হয়েছিল. So Ramsar is a very beautiful place, you know, beside Caspian Sea. So on the shores of Caspian Sea, there is so brilliant, some very learned person. They thought that we should protect our wetlands, we should take care of our wetlands. So they gathered there, they put some regulations, some meetings, some rules. The place was Ramsar and the convention was done there, so it is called Ramsar Convention. It was in 1971. So when did India join? The answer is yes, when? It's written here, 1982. কিছু বছর পরে India joined করেছিল Ramsar Convention. Now who joined? The person, see, I have searched a photograph. Who was the first very person to sign? Like, who brought us here today in this platform in 1982? It is A.C. Dr. A.C. Hejmali. This person in the middle, I think you can all see. This person, this Dr. A.C. Hejmali, who first signed all the formalities from Government of India. And I have tried showing you where the Ramsar place is. It's see all it's blue in the sea. Beside you have that place. It's all in this map. See, it's all sea. This is Caspian Sea, and beside it, this is Ramsar. So it's well justified why why it was done in Ramsar, the Wetlands Convention. Now again, how many Ramsar sites we have now in India? 19, yes. 90, দুটো সদ্য জয়েন করেছে. One is from Uttar Pradesh, another is from Gujarat. Now, a very valid question was asked by Master, I think, yeah, that from West Bengal we have 2, Tamil Nadu we have 20, then Uttar Pradesh we have 10. Even our neighboring states like Odisha, Bihar, they are having 6. 6টা ওদের রামসার সাইট আছে, কিন্তু আমাদের মাত্র 2টো. তাই তো খারাপ লাগে শুনলে না, আমাদের 2টো রয়েছে. But do you know how much we contribute in Ramsar area? 39%. যে 2টো রামসার সাইট আমাদের রয়েছে ওয়েস্ট বেঙ্গলে, they contribute immensely in the area. But yeah, we need more. We are not competing, but yes, if we can fulfill the criteria, the categories given by the Ramsar Convention, then definitely we will be having more number of Ramsar sites in our state. So, as I have said, we have 2 Ramsar sites. One is East Calcutta Wetland, EKW. It was declared in 2002, and we have Sundarban Wetland, not Sundarban. I also confused why it is Sundarban wetland and why it is not Sundarban. I will show you why. So Sundarban wetland was declared in 2019. Okay. But see, here I have shown you 2 figures, 2 numbers. Now this is the area of Ramsar site in West Bengal. What is written over here? 4,35,500 hectares. It's not the wetland. Wetland is even more. It's 11,07,907 hectares in West Bengal. তার মানে ওয়েস্ট বেঙ্গলে রামসার সাইটে ছাড়া প্রচুর ওয়েটল্যান্ড কিন্তু আছে, যেগুলো ডকুমেন্টেড বা ম্যাপ সেই ধরনের. So we have more wetlands. We all know why Sundarban is important, so I'm not going into the detail. We know there is a tiger reserve which has already been designated as World Heritage Site, UNESCO Biosphere Reserve. ওখানে লোকজন চিংড়ি মাছের পোনা ধরেন, ফিশারিজের উপর ডিপেন্ডেন্ট, মধু কালেক্ট করেন. So people are also dependent on wetlands and the forest associated the wetlands. So it is very important. It fulfills all the criteria and it has become Sundarban. Wetland is now a Ramsar site. See, this total area here is a Sundarban mangrove, and half part of it is known as Sundarban wetland. That is Ramsar. Do you understand that it is present, the Sundarban wetland region is present within the largest mangrove forest of the world, that is Sundarban. Not the entire Sundarban has been declared as UNESCO. So then why East Kolkata wetland is important? আমরা সবাই বাইপাস দিয়ে এয়ারপোর্ট যাচ্ছি, খেয়াদা, তারপরে ওই দিকের যে জায়গাগুলো রয়েছে উচ্ছেপোতা, যে জায়গাগুলোতে মার্শি ওয়েটল্যান্ডস, যেখানে ভেড়ি, প্রচুর মাছের চাষ হয়, we all know. But what we don't know is, or we just ignore that, this is the first model, a very renowned model of multiple use wetland. That means the entire west border of the city of Kolkata, it flows through its Kolkata wetland. It gets treated, ওটাকে পরিষ্কার করা হয়, and that clean water is utilized for pisciculture and agriculture. Almost 50,000 people are dependent on this East Kolkata wetland. And the numbers are really rich. Like 150 tons of fresh vegetables are daily produced from this region. 10,500 tons of deviled fish we find. So it justifies why there is a term called Machi Bhate Bangali. So other than the Ramsar sites, we have huge number of wetlands documented in the state of West Bengal. It becomes very difficult to account all, but in a very nutshell, I will say that Malda, the district of Malda, is having 55 wetlands, which is the highest number in our state. And so many varieties of wetlands we are having. We have a single district in West Bengal which is having coastal wetland, inland wetlands, estuaries and rivers. That is district Purbo Medinipur. Purbo Medinipur, ওখানে তোমরা যদি যাও, ওখানে যেরকম ভেতরে গ্রামের ভেতরে মিষ্টি জলের পুকুর আছে, সেরকম ওখানে হুগলি নদী, হলদি নদী যেটাকে আমরা বলে, that is estuary. এবং so there is a mixing of the salt and fresh water. So single district is having all the three forms. By now we have all understood what is the importance of wetland. So can you imagine that the staple food, rice, bhat jeta amra khai, that is a wetland crop. So here itself the importance of wetland becomes immense to us. And rice is from wetland. So যেটা আমাদের রোজের খাবার, সেটা কিন্তু wetland থেকে আসছে. And then we have green leafy vegetables and all. I'm not going into the details. So where our focus here is, আমরা সবাই, আমি জানি না তোমরা কতজন মাছ ধরা দেখেছো. How many of you from the students? কিভাবে মাছ ধরা দেখেছো? জাল ফেলে মাছ ধরা দেখেছো? কত রকমের জাল দেখেছো? জাস্ট আমরা জানি. কিন্তু এবারে ইমাজিন করো, যে জালে তুমি একটা পুকুর থেকে মাছ ধরো, সেই একইভাবে কি তুমি একটা প্রচন্ড খরস্রোতা নদী থেকে মাছ ধরতে পারবে? So this photograph, this is a very high flowing river where these fish baskets are made, and this is a completely traditional knowledge which flows from generation to generation. They know which fish to catch, which kind of fishing net, whether it should be made by bamboo or made by cane or made by any grass. What should be the size of the net? So it's a complete, and when, moreover, when we will be getting what kind of fish. বৃষ্টির সময় যে মাছটা পাবো, সেই মাছটা কিন্তু গরমের সময় পাবো না. গরমের সময় পুকুরে যতটা জল থাকে, বৃষ্টির সময় কি একই জল থাকে? যখন ফ্লাড হয়, যখন বন্যা হয়, so where to plant that fishing net? That knowledge, that traditional knowledge flows from generation to generation. That is the importance of wetland. When we are dependent and we are flowing our knowledge from generation to generation. Now this is a very interesting and probably not very popular story where a complete group known as Kholial from Purba and Paschim Medinipur, a very small region of Purba and Paschim Medinipur, they are completely dependent on a single wetland plant, which is In Bengal, it's called Khori, Saccharum bengalans, or maybe procumbens. I'm not going into the taxonomic details, but Khori নামে একটা গাছ আছে যেটার উপরে একটা community is dependent. How they are dependent? See, this lady, she is actually beating all those harvested Khori plants by 2 bamboo sticks. It has 2 bamboo sticks, which is actually it has smoothened. So how frequently and for years she is doing this by that 2 bamboo sticks. ওটা পুরো তেল হয়ে গেছে, এটাকে পিটিয়ে স্যার ওটা কি করে, ওরা হারভেস্ট করে ওরা অনেক জিনিস বানায়। বেসিক্যালি সবথেকে ইম্পর্টেন্ট দুটো, ওয়ান ইজ ফর দ্য বিগল পয়েন্টস ইট অ্যাক্ট অ্যাজ আ ভেরি গুড সাপোর্ট। পানির বোরজ হয়, পান গাছ কেমন হয়, লতা হয়। To give them support, they use Khori. And another is, see, this plant, it will never break. If you make a round also, it will never break. So it has a huge amount of plasticity. So they make bamboo baskets to store paddy or to measure or to store. It is very durable. So you can keep it for long term. And it never, as it is a wetland plant, so it never gets damaged by water also. Opore jodi or stem ka dekhe bishon tel, it's not polished. If you can see, it's not polished. It's its original polish. So this community, Khoriyal, they are completely dependent on a single wetland plant, that is Khori. So another importance why wetland is considered so important. Now, cultural heritage is such a topic where we cannot speak much. Sholar Dakesh Shah, we all know, it's important. It's the most acclaimed art form of Bengal, which has traveled across the seas and oceans. So it's not, I should not say much about this, but all our rituals related to our culture starts from a pond or a ditch, which is considered holy or sacred, and the plants involved in worshipping all these are also mostly they are wetland species. So it is also present in the tribals, within the aboriginals, within the communities, within the upper caste systems, everywhere. First, people worship wetlands or ponds or beaches. আমরা অনেক সময় যেটাকে গঙ্গা পুজো বলে থাকি। And after that, the ritual follows. You see, in the Bihar district, you will find lotus leaf used as a plate. যতই ভালো থাকুক যাই থাকুক, পুজোর সময় ওরা একটা wetland species, lotus, তার পাতাটাকে খাবার সার্ভ করা। So it's so that much related in our daily life. Now, I belong from a district that is Paschim Medinipur, and I thought that I would be sharing this story, that how wetland is related to me from my childhood. This is called Shorashankar Digi. It's like 150-acre area it is having. It's huge. And when I used to go with my grandfather, he used to say that you can go Shorashankar in a very happy mood, but you will never come back from there happy. Because if you once traverse the entire this 150 acres, which is impossible, definitely your legs will ache. So in a colloquial term, we used to say, Shorashankar jaite anondo, kintu firte mukh beka. So he will not reach us. But there is a fair which is, I think, during Posh Sankranti, there is a small village fair which involves this wetland, this Shorashankar Digi, and the things what are sold there are mostly related to wetlands. See the conch shells. These are pebbles of gravels which are used for grinding or churning grains. And fishing nets, different types of fishing nets. And even these baskets, what I have shown, bamboo baskets or that Khori baskets, or mostly the grasses, durable grasses that we find in the wetlands, baskets made from that. So the mystery or the myth goes like this that when যখন পাণ্ডবরা বনবাসী ছিল বা যখন ছিলেন ওরা এক্সাইলে ছিলেন পাণ্ডবরা তখন তৃতীয় পাণ্ডব that means Bhim he has excavated this big 150-acre dighi in one day, a single day. I don't know whether it's a myth, but this belief brings people to this pond. They take dip, they bathe there, and they protect that. So now there has been initiatives taken by the government so that it can be brought under tourism or some other purpose like fishing, pisciculture, or some other protocols. But mostly the local peoples, local communities there, they are protecting this large, huge wetland area. So I think now it's time that what I was telling, that it is difficult when it comes in writing, the jargons, the difficult terminologies, but actually wetland is very much related to all of us. So it's better to know that plants or the system so that we can protect it in a better way. Not going into much of the details, but in a very loving way. So thank you. This is all from my end.
Thank you, ma'am, for your speech. It was wonderful to listen to you. The session was chaired by Dr. Dinesh Agarwal, sir. Sir, do you have any questions?
There is no question indeed, and it is a proud moment for all of us that Dr. Biju Balika has known the lessons of life, and she has shared all her experiences and shown how important the wetlands are and how they are the integral part of our life. So I once again urge the students to remain connected to the nature and explore all these things, and everything, all the questions are answered in their surroundings only. So it was a nice lecture. I congratulate Dr. Nirupalika for this, and I hope the students will learn so much more.
So we have a session break now. So we disperse for lunch. For the students who are participating in the poster, I would request you to have your lunch early, and done by 3:45. You should be in front of your poster. Get it? All of you are here. Those who are presenting poster. How many of you are in the poster session? How many have posters?
How many posters?
Only 4.
One from Suraj and one from
Okay.
ঠিক আছে আমরা খেয়ে